Next one, T part of the actor model, thorough research. This usually comes into play whether it is the audience, whether it is the content, O or R parts of the actor model. As Vishal had pointed out some time back, get used to the visual aids. So when you reach a little early, it is important what are the visual aids available. You might have a cue card, you might have a laptop, there would be a LCD or an LED, or maybe there is a screen and a projector. Which one is working, which is fine. If there are some adjustments needed, all those things, including your cue cards, seating arrangements, everything, you will need to ensure that these are in place before you start the presentation. O comes in as an objective. Objective needs to be crisp and clear, and it should be very clear. Your objective should be very clear. What are the pointers which your objective will include? We are actually going to talk about it when I state the delivery pointers. However, when you are making your objective in the pre-presentation, ensure that you are very clearly in a simple statement stating why you are here, why the audience is here, and over whatever period, half an hour, 10 minutes, or a couple of hours, what is it that they are going to get out of this?
3D model also.
Yes. Can you please state that, Arushi?
It was first was tell them what you are going to tell them.
Thank you.
Second was tell them, and third was tell them what you just told them.
Thank you. Yes, exactly. Because this is the way the complete presentation flows, which is ideally talked about. So this objective part is the first part of it. Tell them what you are going to tell them. We come to our part in the actor model, where we are talking about relate with examples. Whoever is there in the presentation, one important aspect will be that you are giving each one an experience when they feel that they are able to connect with what you are trying and presenting to them. So supposedly take up an example of a business presentation. You are giving a presentation to all the management team for an example. Sir, you had given me that instruction. I have tried, I've used that, and that is the reason this data has moved from here to here. This actually makes the person also feel, okay, so this person has actually understood and utilized whatever 2 bits of information I gave. If you are giving a presentation around motivating others, some real life examples, for this you might have to do some research with the participants before even you have prepared your presentation. Take up some real life examples from their life so that when you are presenting, they are able to connect, and also others with similar experiences that they have. So that is the actor model. Now you are an actor. What does an actor do?
He's trying to basically portray the whole idea to the group or the audience.
Thank you.
So this is what is actually the presentation, where you need to clarify and explain the objectives very clearly and as you have stated very crisply to the audience.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Any inputs? Thank you, Mr. Daniels. Basically, an actor, before he or she faces the camera, needs to practice. Not all actors are spontaneous actors. So the 3 things that every actor needs to do, and you as a presenter will need to do before you get onto the stage, is you need to practice, practice, practice. Next, we talk about glossophobia, which is the fear of public speaking. So when we talk about glossophobia, let me start off a poll here once again. How many of you fear going on stage? Another 5 seconds to go. Thank you. Let me share the results. 44% of the participants have mentioned that they are afraid of going on stage. And 56% have voted in favor of I don't fear, just that I'm a little hesitant. And none of the participants have actually stated, give me the stage and I will rule it. What is the reason? Why are you afraid?
Because I'm mostly ill prepared.
Sorry?
I am
Vijay?
mostly ill prepared. I don't do my homework, so I'm a bit afraid of going on stage. But otherwise, normally, off the cuff, if someone asks me to speak, I can just go and say whatever. I mean, I'm not hesitant in that fashion. But if you ask me, tell me from before you got to do this, then I have to work towards it. Perhaps I fail in my pre-work, and because of not having done my pre-work, I'm always like it's a last minute thing, or even sometimes not even that. And so then maybe, yeah, because of that majorly I'm scared of the facing the audience. But if you've done your homework well, I suppose, like you said, then I don't think it should be a major issue.
All right. Thank you. Thank you,
For
Vijay.
me,
Thank you.
for me,
Yeah.
I'm a bit hesitant because I think, what if I forget my lines, and then I'm like, then how do I continue if I forget my lines,
Okay.
what I have to speak?
It is basically practice, 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 which is missing.
Actually.
Hmm. You know.
Yeah, and I would like to add
Please.
that if I talk about my own experience, then yes, I was very, very afraid to go on the stage when I was young.
Hmm.
And I used to see people walk up to the stage and speak, and I was like in awe of those people, that how do they do this? But as you can see that as the time passed, I realized that even I can do it, but with the confidence, lack of confidence. It was not lack of preparation for me. For me, it was a lack of confidence which I gained through the years, and by going and doing it repeatedly. In the beginning, I was not very confident. I used to hesitate. I used to forget. Even if I knew my work, I was not able to put it across.
Thank you. Right, Isha, you are right in saying so. And again, there is something around building your self-confidence. I've already talked about it in one of the videos. So in case if any one of you feels that confidence is the reason why you're afraid to go on the stage, do watch that. I'm sure you will get some tips which would help you.
In addition to that, Mr. Kapoor, I just wanted to add one more point, that people have self-expectation that they want to satisfy each and every person who is among the audience, which is not practically possible. So the people are afraid of going to face the audience and go to the stage, as they have a fear that all of a sudden, if someone asks me anything, how I'm going to handle that query or that point or that person.
Right.
Because of that also
Thank you.
people get hesitant.
Thank you, Mr. Vishal. Would you relate to this?
Yes.
And even another one around performance orientation versus communication orientation. So there are people who are giving or delivering presentations as if they are performing, and the people who are sitting in the audience are the judges who are scoring them. Versus there is a communication which needs to be passed on to the audience, and the reason why they are there as the presenter so that they can communicate it. These are two different mindsets. When the people are looking at it from the performance orientation, it becomes more in terms of how people will judge me. And then that fear builds up in the mind. Versus when it is a communication orientation, people are more focused on how am I to communicate with the people. What we see in the movies and all, okay, wo tamatar padenge, that does not happen in the real world most of the times. Whenever you're giving a presentation, build up your confidence level and go there to communicate. Believe me, this is something which is going to help. Most of the times when you are having that fear, you'll be able to fight it out. Some tips which I have for you is organize your thoughts around the presentation, which helps. Research, practice, and prepare extensively. This is again on similar lines of the 3P model, or practice, practice, practice model. Move away from the fear of rejection. What will people say? Move away from that. I am here to communicate. Let people say what they want to. I know what they need and what they want, which we prepared in the first part of Act Up. And focus on the presentation content, not the immediate audience reactions. Because if you start focusing on that, your presentation will get lost somewhere. A few checks before you deliver. You are ready. It is that day when you are to present. So you need to dress well. and depends on what type of a setting you are in, to whom are you delivering. That will determine what type of clothes should you be wearing, the way, and of course, how comfortable are you wearing what you are wearing for that presentation. It helps in building your confidence as well. You go in a t-shirt and jeans to a formal business meeting, I am sure you will feel by seeing others that your confidence is going down. As Mr. Vishal had pointed out earlier, arrive early at the venue or in the meeting room. Now, this is one aspect which is very, very important. Be the expert, of course, when you have all the knowledge, the preparation work that you've done, which are what you were referring to. Remember, when you are an expert, then that will only come when you prepare well for it. And the important aspect, when you are the expert on it, show your authority. Next is to act confident, even if you are not. There are times, even when I am to present, there are some churning happening in my stomach as well. But of course, you remember, you are an actor. If you are an actor, you are to act. And as has been said in the show business, the play must go on. So act confident. Not many people will be able to make out. But yes, if you have the knowledge, if you have prepared well, confidence will come in.
So then people won't be able to tell if you're acting or it's real.
Again, it all depends on your preparation, the pre-presentation preparation that you've done. It will be dependent on that. If you have the knowledge, if you have the knowledge and you have complete details, preparation, that 100 questions around the topic that you are presenting, I am sure then you can try to act as being confident.
So it's the attitude.
It is the attitude. As is said, and I've recently actually mentioned it on a LinkedIn post. Somebody's post was there. So it's actually the gratitude in your attitude which determines your altitude.
So true.
Right? Thank you. One important aspect, one physical aspect, have water at hand. When you are speaking for a long duration, there are times when your throat will feel a little scratchy. Water is a must. Vijaya says, I manage only because of authority. That is a good one, Vijaya. But yeah, that is something which is important as well. See, even when you are addressing your seniors, remember, if you are on the stage, this is something which one of my bosses told me long time back when I was to deliver a presentation. And there were so many senior people in the audience. He just told me one thing. When you are on stage, you are the boss. And I truly believe it till date. When I am going there to present, I am the boss. You might be the head of the organization. I prepared the questions and the answers I should give. I am sure I do not need to fear. Instead, I need to, thank you, sir, for that query. I still recall that one discussion I had when there was a question which the sales head had asked me, and I had very clearly told him, thank you for that question. But I think that does not relate directly to the point which I'm trying to highlight around the importance of the manpower development. And somehow he related to it, connected with it, and then that discussion went off as I had planned it would. Start the delivery and make it effective. Always, whatever clothes you wear, but remember always to wear a smile. There are very many tough situations which can be turned upside down if you are having that smile. But remember, smile. Do not laugh. That makes all the difference. This was a pointer which was discussed also. So if you are getting into a training or a business presentation, you can request the audience to have their mobiles on silent mode if there is a serious business discussion going on. Or in case if there is a training session going on and the mobile rings, obviously it is something which is going to direct everyone's thought towards the mobile ringtone instead of the topic that the people were involved in. I can see Ankit has written, Ankit, you remember what we discussed, huh? Smile is a curve which makes every line straight. So Ankit incidentally also happens to be one of my coachees. So been involved with his organization in terms of personal coaching. And Vijaya says, agree, story is the most impactful in retention strategy. So true, Vijaya. Anybody else? Any pointers around this? Sandeep, Manush, Tuhin, anything you want to say? See, if we are to learn things, the videos I try and put up on the channel, They are for your learning. And that's the reason I always mention that it is your learning channel. So if there is a video and you watch probably 2 minutes of it, it might not even make sense. If it is a 7-minute, 8-minute, 12-minute video, watch that fully. There will always be some pointers which you can take out of it. Okay, Tuhin asks a question, how to make a story when a presentation is data and number oriented? Tuhin, as I had suggested, build stories around how that data led to the result which you got. In case of business, it would usually be some data around the performance, some data around sales, some data around marketing. I'm sure whatever data you are presenting would be leading to a result. Build a story. What do the customers say? What is it that the customers are admiring about it? What are those numbers? What does the data say? And how it connects to the overall goal achievement for that sales you're doing or that marketing event which you conducted, depending on for what you are presenting it. So that story, of course, I cannot tell you now. That is a story which you will need to build for your presentation. Post-presentation analysis. Here, I think we've already discussed many things. Collect some feelers around the presentation. Now, feelers, where can you get these feelers from? For sales, maybe when you're trying to make sales to another organization, connected people whom you will be knowing, try and get the feelers. Okay, how was my presentation? What was the feedback from the management? What were they saying? Second, around motivation, if you're giving a presentation, you're done with it. Okay, so what do you think in my presentation would you be implementing? Don't ask immediately after this, but probably a day later, a couple of days later, have a general chit chat with a few of the people who are your audience. Take their inputs. What do they feel about the actionable items that you've mentioned? Next one, when you are conducting training sessions, you can always get a feedback from the supervisors. Any change you can see in your team? What is that change? So these are a few ways in which you can collect the feelers or some data pointers around how your presentation went. Analyze. These are two aspects. What went well? Note these down. Keep on doing these in the future presentations. What could have been better? Work on these and develop your skill sets to ensure that you are improving upon these things. Model in which you can do a post-presentation analysis. I have an actionable item for all the participants, and before I do, let me share another poll. So the question is simple. To develop your skills, to get inputs about your development areas, would you be interested in getting this? Yes or a no? I got almost 85% to respond. Please remember to use the actor model before you even record that video of yours. So prepare a 2-minute presentation. I'm not asking for a longer duration, just a 2-minute presentation. Record it on your mobile. You can WhatsApp to me or the NKLC group, which is there on the WhatsApp. I think most of you are already a part of the NKLC group. The ones of you who are not, I would request you to click on the link and join that. And all of you have got that link once I had shared the mailer with you with the 5 videos which you should refer to. Next, you can also mail it to me on neil.kapoor@2020@gmail.com. And one thing which you will get a feedback on the areas of improvement. In case if there are areas in which you have done well, that will also be mentioned so that you can continue doing that. So this would again be on similar lines of what we talked about. What went well, what could have been better. Vishal says any timeline to submit the presentation. Just a second, Isha. Any time to submit the presentation? Yes, you have the next 3 to 4 days. So by Thursday, you can share that. I think 4 days is a decent time for a 2-minute presentation. Yeah, Isha.
Yeah, I wanted to know that we just have to record while speaking, or we need to use, as you said, the PowerPoint or cue cards or
any which ways as if you are presenting to the audience. You want to just speak out about something, do that. You want to use cue cards while you are recording that video, I'm fine with that. If you want to even show, just like I'm sharing this PPT with you right now, you can do that also. However, you should also be seen. Then only will I be able to provide inputs around the body language with which you are speaking, the confidence that shows up on your face. Toyin asks, can an introvert person be a good presenter? Yes, it is possible, Toyin. How? Again, model needs to remain the same. The models don't change because it is an introvert person or an extrovert person. But yes, the way the person processes information and then presents it, that makes a big difference. Thank you. Vijaya says Sushant Singh is a good example. Yeah. So let me just present to you the next offering which is coming up. And this one is around business skill, essential skills training, or the best training to give you the right direction. If you are in corporate, if you are in a SME, if you are the owner of a SME, or in case if you are even a student for that matter. When we talk about this, what are the benefits you will be getting? So in 3 months time, we're talking about 30 hours of learning, 10 hours per month. Har skill ke around you get, there will be tools, there will be checklists, which you can actually use to practically implement the learnings from the session. Then there will be some activities and tasks for your learning retention. And at the end, you will be getting a course completion certificate as well. So I think, thank you for your time.